We have started. All right, so here we go. And let me get my whiteboard. The whiteboard is up. Okay. And I'm just using these slides because this is the question I really want to go over by hand. So go ahead and write that question down. A parabola passes through the point 0, 5, 4, 13, and negative 2, 25. Write the equation. Now this kind of follows along the same line of the, find the equation of a line using the slope. Remember that? I'll just refresh your memory. Let's say I give you 2 points. 0, 5, and 2, 4. And I tell you that I want you to give me the equation of the line. All right? That's what this says. Write the equation. But this is a linear example. This is a linear example. Okay, I'm just brushing up your memory. And that's x of 2, x of 1, y sub 1, x of 2, y sub 2. And that'll be slope is equal to 4 minus 5 over 2 minus 0, which is equal to negative what? Negative 1/2. So that's our slope. We pick a point, and then we plug it into the point-slope equation. Everybody remember this? Negative 1/2 x plus 5. Okay, so that's how we did it with the linear equation. Now we're going to do it with a non-linear. And usually, these questions are usually designed to where the points will help you find the equation. Okay, the ones that are not, you do on the calculator or the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so, and that's when I tell you to use your calculator. I'm not anti-calculator. I'm just anti-calculator drill team. All right, so let's erase that and let's go back, and I'm going to go to black because off color because I don't want to write in red. All right, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say red either. I don't know how to say that color without saying it, so I don't know if I don't think it. All right, so first of all, what is a quadratic equation? F of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus what?
C.
Plus c. Now, in this equation, we're going to use this one point right here because this point right here is the easiest point to work with, and it's also the y-intercept, or the x-intercept, whichever. Okay, 0, 5 is the y-intercept, sorry. Yeah, okay? So 5 is y and 0 is what? X. And what will that 0 do to the x terms if you plug it in?
Make them all.
I'll do it for you. What happens to the 0 terms? The x terms.
All equals 0.
They equal 0, which means they what? They go away. And that leaves you with c is equal to what? Okay, and you carry that over here and put it in the margin. Okay. Questions? That's pretty simple, isn't it? Yes. So don't screw it up. Now, we got to do something with the other two. So what you're going to do is you're going to erase this. Eventually. And you're going to plug in the other two, but you're going to use 2 ax squared plus bx plus c, y is equal, and then y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. And you're going to plug in this one, and you're going to plug in this one. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and plug into those two. I'll start you off if you need it. So 13 is equal to a times 4 squared plus b times 4 plus c.
Priority 1 message coming
sorry,
in on
plus
secured
5.
channel.
That's her. Evidently she's plus 5. There you go. And then the next one is going to be 25 equals a times negative 2 squared plus b times negative 2 plus 5. All right, work with those two. You didn't get your gummy worms this morning. They out?
No, I just think.
Yesterday there was only like 2 left. Okay, let's see if she's got her Skype on. Oh my God. I swear, I ain't kidding you. Breathe. 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 Let me just put it to you this way. Some people could break an anvil with a banana.
What?
Some people could break an anvil with a banana. If you don't know what an anvil is, one, you don't say anything because that's just going to show you ignorance. Okay? And if you don't know what a banana is, you're past ignorant. Okay? So if you don't know what an anvil is, you Google it. You know, that's the great thing about Google. It's the thing that falls on the coyote's head. Wile E. Coyote. You know they're going to make a movie about Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner? Sure
And
is.
it doesn't die. It still lives.
Yeah, it keeps on going no matter a rock falls on his head or whatever. But I guarantee you one thing. If the coyote was up against some of these students that we have now, he would be dead. Because I swear, some of y'all, dumb as a post. I mean, you got a question. You got a question on a test. And it says, if you have any questions about the questions on your test, what should you do? And then I get 2 people that send me questions, send me pictures of their questions. Shut up, Peter. 13 is equal to 16a plus 4b. And that 5 we can take over here. What's 13 minus 5?
8.
Did you use your calculator or did you just know that? Probably had to use your calculator.
I don't know about that.
20 is equal to, let's see, that'd be 4a. What?
I just realized what we were doing.
Minus 2b. Oh my gosh, what do we have? We have 2 equations and 2 unknowns. How are we going to solve this?
Elimination.
Elimination or substitution or graphing? Either one. I'm going to multiply the bottom by negative what?
4.
Negative 4. And that's going to give me 8 is equal to 16a plus 4b. Negative 4 times 20 is negative 80. Negative 16a. And what's negative 4 times negative 2?
Negative 8.
Positive 8b. And what happens to the 16a's? They go out. 8 minus 80 is negative 72. And what's 4 plus 8?
Wouldn't it be
Oh my gosh.
negative 8?
B is equal to negative 6. Y'all check my math.
Yeah. You're good.
Now, what do you think I can do now that I have negative 6 and 5? Or I have negative 6. I can take negative 6 and plug it back into this right here, right? Or I can plug it into this one. So I'm going to plug it back into this one. So I'm going to go down here. And I'm going to say 8 is equal to 16a plus 4 times negative 6. I can't write. Negative 6. And negative 24, you take it over to the other side, it becomes a positive 24. And 32 is equal to 16a. A is equal to what? Now, what do you think I'm going to do with A, B, and C once I find them?
Put them in the quadratic formula.
The quadratic equation. Thank you. So go ahead and do that. So I'm going to erase this right here. And remember, you're going to present this to a teacher, so you got to hold your pinky up. So you can't use y, you got to use f of x. F of x is equal to 2x squared plus what? Be a minus, sorry. Minus 6x minus 6x plus what? It's a miracle. And you just found the equation for those 3 points. Make sure you highlight this question, okay? Highlight the question because this question will be on the test, if not 2 or 3 times. So right now, what you need to study for this next test is the quadratic formula. I mean, not the quadratic formula. God, heaven forbid. Y'all could recite that backwards and forwards in your sleep. The completing the square and finding a quadratic equation. Any questions on that one? Now that's a good one. That's a good.
How do you know, like, in that one when you started with 0, 5, did you do that because you knew you were going to find C with 0?
Well, 0 is going to eliminate terms.
Right.
Just like elimination. 0 is going to eliminate terms. So you always go with the keep it simple. You're not going to be able to do it unless you eliminate terms from the first step. So make sure you use the 0, 5. They're going to have to give you the y-intercept to do this.
Okay.
Okay? That's a good question. It's usually the one most people ask is, can you do it if that is a 2 and a 4? No, you cannot.
Okay.
You have to use the Excel spreadsheet then. So, let's see if we know what we're doing. They plugged in 0 and 5 and got C is equal to 5. They got those 2 guys right there by plugging in the other 2 points. And let's see what I got. Did I get 2x squared minus 6x plus 5? I think I did.
Yep.
That's how you do it. So, and I also went through this slowly through this so you could go back. I'll do it again. So that way if you're the 1 or 2 people that use the videos when you don't understand something, yeah, that's a concept. If you don't understand something, you can go back and look at the videos. And somebody's going, what videos? Anyway.
That for test.
Yeah, that's what it's for, yeah. So you can go through the videos like right now, and you can hit pause and write down the question. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but you can hit pause on the videos and write that down, and write that down and pause and work and write that down. Or you can just call me up if you miss class, or call me up and ask me, what did I miss? You could do that. That usually works really well. Anyway, the table shows the dollar value or projected dollar value of the U.S. mobile internet advised at blah, 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 blah from 2006 to 2012. The first thing you're going to do when you see this is quit. No, first thing you're going to do is put it in the calculator. Put it in the calculator. So you go to table or go to stat and edit and go into and put it in your table. That's the first thing you're going to do. And then it's going to plot. Now we got to talk about what to do after you plot it. Well, I'm going to go to the handy dandy spreadsheet because it's easier for me to show it on the spreadsheet than it is to actually do it in the calculator, but I'll try to do it on both. But I suck at the calculator, so y'all might have to fill in the blanks on the calculator. All right, so I'm going to take my handy-dandy calculator, and since they are not saying anything about, well, I don't know how I'm going to get it on the calculator because I can't see the data plane thing. Let me do this, move it over. There we go. Since they're not saying X is equal to blah, blah, blah from 2006, I'm just going to type in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2011, and 2012. And then here I'm going to write 0.045, 0.114, 0.273, 0.409, 0.545, 0.791, and 1.023. And then I'm going to insert, or I'm going to highlight. I'm going to insert. I'm just going to use the dot plot.
A work email.
And then I'm going to make it big. Now, what does that look like? Well, some of you may say it looks like a straight line, but actually it has a sort of a curve to it. And which section are we in? Are we in the straight line section, or are we in the parabola section?
Parabola.
You're in the quadratic, which means you're in the parabola. So right-click on one of those dots. Add trend line. And parabola, which is, where is it? I don't see it. Polynomial, it must be polynomial. There it is. And go down here. Usually they have, okay, I thought they had linear, logarithmic, polynomial. Okay. Go down here and put display equation. Look there, it's a miracle. That's what you use a calculator for. You don't use a calculator to find the change of $20.56 to $5.56. Okay, you don't need to use a calculator for that. Unless you can't spell mom backwards, or unless you don't know what a banana is. Now, if I was to extrapolate, what does extrapolate mean? Interpolate means within the points. What extrapolate means what?
Outside.
Outside the point. So if I was to extrapolate for 2013, I would plug 2013 into the equation. And I would extrapolate and predict what that number will be. Capiche?
Good.
I've done given up.
You
All
plug
right.
it into Y or X?
I'm sorry, what?
You plug it into Y or X?
Let's go to the handy dandy calculator so I can show my ignorance. Let me pull this up. Hold on just a second. I'm just going to use the Excel spreadsheet because it's a whole lot easier to maneuver. I'm going to move it over here. Just give me a second. Okay.
So when you extrapolate, do you plug it into the Y or the X?
Well, you go to the table if you want to look at other terms, but you're going to plug it in. You're going to plug in, yeah, you're going to plug the year in for X
Okay.
because the years are on the bottom.
Got it.
All right, here we go. Stat. Where's stat? There it is. Let me go up here because it's about like pushing a noodle with a mouse. All right, so I'm going to go to edit. And I'm going to type in where is my numbers? I swear to goodness, this is like, I try to do things for y'all and everywhere I go it's just like, yeah, you ain't going to do that. Damn Russians. There. And white women. Don't forget about those white women. All right. So 2006. Okay, I'm not even going to try it. I'm going to hit the dadgum calculator. It goes haywire. 2006. 2007. And maybe if I turn my camera and put it on the... I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. 2008. 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. And then go up to our handy dandy next and type in 0.045 and 0.114 and 0.273 and 0.409 and 0.545. 0.791 and 1.023. $1.023. Now you go to Stat, Calculate, and go to Quadratic Regression. And I don't have... And then type in second L1, comma, second L2, enter. There it is. And you feel good about yourself. Now, out of 3.4, you should be able to do those two things. Now, we're going to do a couple of them, but I'm going to the homework because I don't want to have to type in all these things. And that's why I use the Excel spreadsheet, because if you use the Excel spreadsheet, it'll take it and put it into the Excel spreadsheet, and you don't have to sit here and write, and you don't have to fiddle with the calculator. So anyway, let me go to the handy dandy homework for this section. And we'll just go to, eventually I'll get there, contents 3.4, study plan. And let's see if I can pick one out. That's a good test question. Okay, here's one right here. It says find a power function, find a linear function, which is a better fit. So you click on this little icon right here, copy to Excel, and boom, it's already in there. Save you a whole bunch of time on a test. Highlight your data, insert. I go with that. Now they said check from a power, so I'm going to go to add trend line. I'm going to use a power and look at it. So everybody sit there and look at it for a minute. And then what else did it ask for, power or linear? Did it say linear or power? Both? I would say power, wouldn't you?
Yep.
And then go to trend line or display equation, and there is your equation. And I'm trying, can I make that bigger? Format, edit text. No, I don't want to edit text. I want it bigger. Oh, Puggy. There. 3.8022x to the 1.4058 power. And you don't even want to know how to do that with a exponential. We won't even go there. So let's do another one. Now, if you want to do that in your calculator, you would hit, let me pull up the handy dandy. I'm just going to show you what to hit. You would hit stat, calculate, and you have linear regression right there. There's linear. And down here, you have power regression. So you would do power regression. Capiche? Yeah. Uh-huh. Let's do another one. I can't wait for some of these people to get. They're not going to have me next semester. I can't wait. They're going to go into. Well, no, other math teachers don't talk, so they'll be happy. They'll just sit there and it'll just be a room of silence. Real good learning environment. All right, try that one. Three, 4.6, 6, 10.9, 8, 14.8, and 9, 17. So y'all supposed to be using your calculators. So this is for all those people that like to play on things during class. Y'all can play on your calculator now. Of course, I got people not doing it. It blows my mind. If I told everybody to listen to me and watch me write on the board, everybody would be playing on the calculators. Or maybe they don't think I can see it. That's what it is. I can't see it. Now this one says, find the power function, find the linear function, and then determine which one is the best fit. Same type question. So I'm going to pull it up. There it is. And I'm going to highlight. And I'm going to hit insert. There it is. I can tell you linear right now. Why? Because they just about line up. So add trend line, linear, yeah. Power, I would say linear. Well, let me look again. If I could make this a little bit bigger. Thank you. Let's go with linear. I think linear is the best fit. So you go back and you hit linear. Well, I think they're telling you. Well, what do we? Let's do the trend line and see. All right, y is equal to 2.0548x. Somebody write that down because I'm not going to remember it. let me do the font. I think they ought to make the font a little bit smaller. Don't y'all? Maybe a little bit smaller, about half the size. That way we all can't see it.
Too much space on the screen, so.
Yeah. 2.0548x minus 1.531. So easily, y'all good? Oconee, y'all good?
Good.
Pendleton, the ones that's actually doing it, y'all good?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mine's off like a little bit, but it's not like by much. But it always does that. I don't know if it's like programmed different or what.
It's because you are programmed to fail. That's true.
Yes, you are, Nessie.
It's
Actually, you'll have to let me bring it up here and let me look at it.
it's like
Are you getting the 2.0548?
well, it's 2.0507. See, it's not much, but it's like but it does that on like every problem.
What have you got your significant digits on? See if it's floating. Go to mode and set your significant digits to floating and see if that changes it.
Mode?
Yeah, it'd be under mode, wouldn't it? Let me pull it up. Like I say, I don't know these things like y'all do. Some of y'all name it and all that stuff. I don't.
It's on floating.
It's on floating? All right, set it to 9 and see if it does it. Set it to 9 and also make sure that you're on function. Set it to 9, make sure you're on function. And I'll type them in and see what I get.
I said on like every one. I don't know.
Well, that's what I want to see. Why? Evidently, you're. Well, I'm going to try to type it in on this thing. I can't put it but one place. And let's go with edit and whatever. Let me just clear that. Clear that. I don't know where those numbers are. Oh, that's coming from. Clear. Okay. So 3, 6, 8, and 9. And then over here, 4.6, 10.9, 14.8, and 17. And you're going to have to graph it to see. But the only way to graph it on the graphing calculator to see it is after you're going to have to get the equation first and then type it in to see if it actually is the best fit. So that's going to be a lot of work. Not a lot of work compared to doing it on the Excel spreadsheet. It's a lot of work. So anyway, go to stat. All right, which one did you do? You did the linear?
Yeah.
Enter. Enter. L1, comma, L2. Enter. 2.05476. Okay.
I'm still doing the point. I don't know. I just use the one on.
We're gonna have to see why it's doing that. It's doing it for a reason. What'd you get for the y-intercept?
The B,
Yeah.
negative 1.501. I'll
It's
just
doing
use
something.
one.
You've got something turned on in your calculator. We'll look at it after class.
I can just use the Excel.
Well, it's up to you. It's easier to use the Excel, but it's up to you. So y'all wrote that down? You got that wrote down?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go back to the handy dandy. Let me go back to the question. I've got so many things up here, I can't see what I'm doing. Things I do for y'all, I should just write it on the board and keep going. That's what I should do. Okay, what did I get? Y is equal to what? It says round to the nearest thousandth. So 2.055 x plus minus
1.531.
Oh my freaking God, I'm freaking done. I'm ready just to quit. Like I said, I should just do it on the board and keep going. Negative what?
1.531.
53 what?
1.
1. I bet they're going to say it's logarithmic power, and I don't agree with that. Yep.
That's the power function.
They're doing a power function. Oh, power is telling you right there the power function. Okay. They ask you to do both. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. I think the linear function is the best fit. I'm answering C. I'm sorry. Y is equal to 2.5, what?
2.05.
2.055 x minus
1.531.
all right, and then I think the linear, but hell, if I said linear, it's going to say A is better. So they both are good fits. You could use that. Okay, you will because it says power function is not. I think C. So I don't believe it. I got it fantastic. All right, so that's the questions I'm going to give you. One more for government work. And you can copy it down if you want to. I'll open it up in Excel and make the line and make them bigger so you can see them. So I'll just hit this button right. I got to hit this stupid enable. I hate that. I hate it. Okay, I'm going to make this bigger. Let's go with... There you go. Is that big enough for you? All right, go ahead and write those down. And you got 3 questions in your notebook to where you know how to use your calculator for those that are actually doing it. Some of y'all don't need to do it because y'all invented the calculator. This one says, find the power function, so it's telling you. Now, why all of a sudden are we doing power functions? Because we're fixing to talk about power functions, and you're going to see a lot of exponential, a lot of parabolic, and a lot of power functions in business. Power and display. Yeah, that's entirely too big a print. I think they're being very liberal on their font. I think they need to tone it down a little bit. They're probably not used to anybody actually using Excel in a presentation, I guess. It is Tri-County Tech. I bet you we have teachers that don't even know how to use Excel. How much you want to bet? Anybody want to bet?
Hey, Hubert,
Yes, ma'am.
we got something different.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, I must have typed in something wrong. It said power function. I got it. I don't understand why y'all didn't get it. Well, I'm just going to type in 3 and we'll see who's right. I don't see how I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't see what you typed in, so I don't. Hey, look. That's the correct. What the? Oh my God, what happened to the question I just did?
That's the question. But
It was right. It's 3.06. I saw it for a blink of an eye and then it just disappeared. I'll do it again. This is a different problem, so I'll make it bigger for you. I believe today is just a bad day.
you have that somewhere.
All right, write down these, or put them in your Excel spreadsheet, or put them in your calculator. I'm going to give you the function and see what it looks like. Make sure you're hitting the power function in your calculator. That's what I got. What'd you do wrong?
I was clicking.
Okay, he found out his error. He was hitting the quadratic. What was your error? Did you find out what you were doing wrong?
Is this the power?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have this. We have.
It's
No, we have 3.009.
That was the last problem. Yeah. I'm doing another problem right now.
Oh, the numbers look the same. Sorry.
Yeah, the last problem, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. There's the last problem, 3.0061.
Okay, yeah, we got that right.
Huh?
Yeah, we were on that one. We got it right.
Okay. What'd you do wrong?
We had in the thing it's 10.1 and 10.3 at the bottom, but you had 10 and 10.
Okay. Okay, 10 and 10 was the other problem. The problem, this
Yeah.
is the redone problem right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you realizing y'all are talking to me and you're not supposed to do that. I hope you don't get beat up out in the hallway. Next question. Well, these are questions and you can, and this is where it helps. See there? You have the button there. You can put it in the Excel spreadsheet and you don't have to type all that stuff in. It says find the quadratic function. Highlight it. I'll make it big for you. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and give you the graph so you can check yours. And that does look like a quadratic. That's what I got.
Could you move your chart over? We can't see the rest of the numbers.
Hold on. There we go.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. It's amazing what communication does, isn't it? Or just sit there and Don't say nothing. Easily, y'all feel good about yourselves?
Good.
Yeah.
How we doing, Oconee? Oconee is like, I got a good picture of the table top desk or whatever that is. What is that, a computer? Say something, Oconee, so the okay, they're asleep.
Priority 1 message coming in on secured channel.
Pendleton, how you feel?
Good.
All right, now you're talking about 3.4, you're talking about 3 or 4 questions. One by hand, like the one we did at the beginning, and then 2 or 3 by the calculator. Now, you're also responsible for 3.1 and 3.2. You're still responsible because I'm going to test you on that again. Okay? And 3.4 is this. Now, 4.1. Let me go to 4.1 and show you what I expect. It's not that big of a deal because it's all calculated, I think. Should be. No, I don't think it is. Let me see what 4.1 is. It should be. Y'all gonna think it's easy because we've been going over it for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And you're gonna say, golly, this is easy. Well, you ain't gonna say that because you're an introvert, so you're not gonna say that. But let's see, slideshow. Okay, what's the difference between these 2 graphs? Yeah, that means what do they have to do with each other? What's the difference between them? What's they have? Are they the same graph?
Yep. Except for one bumped up 2 on the Y.
Good. Shifted up 2 places. Good job. That's what you're supposed to know. Wow. Where would the horizontal shift be if there was one? It would be attached to the X inside parentheses raised to the 2nd power. You know, X plus 2 raised to the 2nd power plus 2. And that would be a negative shift. That would be 2 to the left. But it has to be attached to the X. Okay? It's not attached. This is not attached to the X. This is attached to X what? Squared. So that's a vertical shift. If it was X minus 1 parentheses raised to the 2nd power, the negative 1 would be a 1 horizontal shift to the right, 1 place. So this is what you got to look forward to in 4.1. Real difficult stuff.
Okay.
Negative shift, 2 down. They're telling you that K is the vertical shift. What's the difference in this one?
To the right.
To the left.
To the left. It's always the opposite.
Opposite.
The horizontal shift is always the opposite. Two to the right.
To the right.
Good
How did I
job.
get that?
Here they're telling you that the horizontal shift is H. It's always the opposite. Negative is to the right, positive is to the left. Golly, this sounds familiar. What's this one doing? There's your vertex. After you complete the square, here's your vertex. Now remember, it's in intercept form. So you have to just bring the vertical shift down. Take the opposite of the horizontal.
Okay.
Negative 2, positive 1. So that means negative 2, that means to the left, and then up 1. Y'all gonna have a bunch of these on the test. If you miss them, you don't what? You don't tell anybody. Look at there. A word problem. Wow. What's this question doing? What does that negative tell you? It's opening which way? It's opening down. It's got a horizontal shift of what? 55 to the right and negative 40 and positive 45 up. So it's in the first quadrant. There it is. Or 55 to the right. Okay, there it is, right there. And you can find the x-intercepts. If they ask you, you can find the x-intercepts. Wow, this is going to be real difficult. Now, they're starting to get into exponentials. All right? When they get into exponentials, the only thing you need to do is graph it. All right? Because exponentials, you're not going to be able to do what you can with, you know that the 4.9, that's above 1, so you know it's going to be squished. Okay? It's going to be squished because it is going to be skinnier. You know you have a horizontal shift of 10 to the left. Okay? But that's the only thing you know. I mean, you can't, a lot of times people just graph them. Okay? Compare the graphs of kx squared for k is equal to 1, 3, and 1/3. Now come on, y'all. What does that mean? Just change that k to an a. See, that's what gets me about these books. They tell you to learn y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Tell you to learn a. And then they write a question and put k on it. Change that to an a. Y is equal to ax squared. Okay? A is equal to 1. It's a regular what?
Parabola.
Parabola. What about 3?
Smaller.
Skinnier. 1/3? Satellite dish. Golly, y'all know that, don't you?
Yes.
Where'd you learn that?
School.
Dr. Gabati? Yep, probably.
Oh,
Here they're telling you the difference between the negative and the negative, okay? Okay, that's odd or even, okay? If it's reflected upon the x-axis, it's negative. If it's f of negative, and we've already covered this, but, you know. All right, this is a linear function. Why is it linear? Because p is raised to the what power? No, it's a rational function. Sorry, it's first power, but it's a rational function, so it's going to look a little bit different. It's going to look like the rational function. Now, you can shift these also, except the origin is in the middle and you can't nearly see it. Okay, this is part of that function right there, the upper part. Why are we focusing on the first quadrant? Because we're business majors. Duh.
make profit. We make money move.
First quadrant, yes. And that's okay. Write this down. I think we have covered this in the algebra review. I mean, sometimes I get y'all mixed up with the 109 or 110. I'm sorry. Write this down and tell me if I don't know if we've covered it or not. But it's when you check symmetry with respect to x, if it's odd or even. Let me check the time before somebody spontaneously combust at the Pendleton campus. It's 10:44, so we got 15 minutes before somebody explodes. This is no joke. I had a teacher call me yesterday or the day before. Yeah, yesterday was what? Tuesday? Monday. Called me Monday from another division, meaning nursing or engineering or another division. It wasn't math and English. It wasn't arts and sciences. Have you got so-and-so in your class? Yeah. How are they doing in your class? Okay, I guess. I looked at the grades. Looked like they were doing okay. They don't communicate very well. Duh. I'm like, you're talking to the phone generation. This is the phone generation. The only way y'all communicate is how? With the thumbs. Phone generation. I said, all you need to do is text them because they don't know how to communicate except through their phone.
In-class group message.
They'll just sit there and look at you like a tit on a bull.
Hubert, we need to have an in-class group message so we
We
can.
can talk.
Yeah. Somebody would complain to my boss. Yeah, that I guarantee you that would work. Y'all have like 50,000 messages going to each other. Unless I join, and if I join, none of y'all say anything. I think they hate me. I think that's what it is. I know what I'll do. I'll get me a jug of water, get me some smokestacks on my truck, and wear sunglasses inside. And by God, they'll like me then. Right? That's what you do. JC, I apologize for saying what I said to you in the parking lot. I get this class mixed up with 110 all the time. So I walked up to JC and said, "Why'd you cut my class?" I think I'm on drugs. I think that's what it is. But see, the 110 class doesn't talk either. It's the only class. The 110 and the 109 don't talk at all. The Pendleton campus doesn't. My God, the Easley campus and the Oconee campus, they just like this. And the Anderson campus is like this. Pendleton campus, tit on a bull. I guarantee you somebody's going to look up tit on a bull. Probably. It's their parents' fault. Did y'all get that written down, or y'all still writing with the chisel and the hammer?
Picture.
Now, what that means is if I give you f of x is equal to x squared, let's do something simple. If I give you f of x is equal to x squared, and I tell you to tell me if it's odd or if it's even, if it's symmetrical around the y-axis or is it symmetrical around the origin, okay? You're going to say, okay, well, I'm going to plug in negative x. And when I plug in negative x, what do I get? I get x squared. So therefore, f of negative x is equal to what? F of x. If I plug in negative x and I get f of x, then it's symmetric around the what? The y-axis. And of course that is because you get this. It's symmetric around the y-axis. And if those of you who don't know what symmetric means, dang old mirror image, okay? Dang old definition. Now what about the origin? Well, do f of x is equal to x cubed. Equal to x cubed. Plug in negative x. Negative x cubed is equal to what? Negative x cubed, right?
Yep.
Well, what happens if you put a negative in front of f of x? What do you get? I'm sorry, I can't. Please work with me just the last 15 minutes of class. Negative, one of these days we're going to get training on these whiteboards. X third. What happens when you put a negative in front of the x third? What do you get? Are they equal? Yes, Hubert. Negative x cubed is equal to negative x cubed. So therefore, it's symmetrical around the what? It's symmetrical around the origin, meaning that it flips. The mirror point is on the origin. So that's how you do that, algebraically. And y'all should have seen that in Math 101 and 102. That's kind of a review. Determine algebraically whether it is the symmetry confirmed, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're going to stop there. Okay, but we don't need to go into that right now because we're going to go over time. And some of those people in Pendleton, blood will start coming out of their ears, and I don't want to do that. Okay? All right, now, let's, I need to call the roll.